You're watching E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
To somebody, I got into a fight once where I fought this black guy. He was a lot taller than me, a little bit skin. He was skinnier, but we got into it was after I was drunk. It was after a bar, not a bar, a club closed, and I remember this. Yeah, this was bad. So, so I did a double whammy here. So all right. I used to go to this club in New York called Club New York. It was a big club back in the day. I don't know. You guys might be too young, but back in the day, Sean Puffy Combs used to date Jennifer Lopez, and they used to frequent the same club. And the club became famous because that was the night that Sean Combs and Jennifer Lopez were at the club, and there was a whole shootout or something. Now, I wasn't there, but that's how the club became famous. So my friend, who I used to work with back in the day, he used to work in the club as a second job. He used to do a lot of their IT work. He used to do their networking and their monitors and all that stuff and all that kind of good stuff. Their POS program and all that stuff. So he used to get us in for free all the time. Every Friday night was a ritual. We all got together. We went to the club. It was so dope because everybody was online, but we were those guys that walk right through the front while everybody's waiting online. The best shit back in the day, man. Anyway. So and then we used to get drink tickets, right? And my boy used to give us about 2 drink tickets apiece, which was fair, and we paid the rest. And there was this waitress there I had a good rapport with. I think her name was Leslie. Very pretty girl, long black hair, light, very fair skin, but always cool girl, and she always gave me my drink. She knew what I liked. So one night she made me try this drink called liquid heroin. And it fucked me up bad. Like, I got lit. So it's like 1 a.m. at this point. I'm already lit up and I'm dancing. And this girl starts dancing with me. Real pretty girl. She was taller than me. She was like 6 feet, but she was, like thin. She had like, God, she kind of looked like the girl from she was in Game of Thrones, Missandei. She kind of looked like her, but tall. If you don't know who I mean, she was also in the Fast and the Furious movies. Black girl, curly hair, real pretty. So she kind of looked like her, but she was tall. And I was dancing, and I'm doing my thing, whatever. And then we exchanged numbers. So apparently she was drunk too. And she happened to be there with a guy she was dating. Now, they weren't a couple, according to her. I found out later. But you date somebody, it's not official yet. Like, you're going on maybe a first, a second, or a third date. Maybe by the 5th date, you kind of figure out you guys want to be exclusive. Now, what makes this worse is that when everybody comes out the club, everybody tends to linger around, like in front of the club, kind of trying to figure out what they want to do next, the kind of things they want to, do we want to go to an after party? Do we want to go to a restaurant? Whatever. Everybody did that. And me and my boy used to do that while my other boy used to run around and get the ride. So apparently her guy that she was dating had already peeped the action. Me and her. Now, nothing bad. I didn't touch her inappropriately. I didn't do anything wrong. We had a good time dancing. We talked. We exchanged numbers. Now, me and my boys used to joke hardcore back then. The kind of jokes you can't say now. And my best friend Elias was African American. He was black. And he was like, man, I know you can't drive. And I know Damien, who was my friend at the time, he was like, I know he probably shouldn't be driving. He shouldn't even be in the car right now. And I was like, so I think I'm going to drive. And I looked at him and I said, and remember, this was a different time. This is when these jokes were allowed. And this is my best friend. We used to joke like this. I looked at him and I said, Elias, I said, if you drive, our chances of being pulled over increased 32%. And it was a joke. And he was laughing and I was laughing. But the dude who was already salty towards me heard the joke. And that's when it popped off. And when I'm drunk, I'm a happy drunk, but I'm also a cocky drunk. So I'll talk shit even when I shouldn't. So the guy turns around. He's like, what the fuck did you say? I was like, what? And then he was like, yo, man. And then I see the girl roll up and I'm like, oh, shit. And I was like, Elias was like, no, nothing, man. That's just a joke between us, whatever, brother. You don't got to get, all worked up about it. And I vouch for him. I know him. He's my boy. I'm like, we always do that. I call him a spick, a wetback. He, because my boy's like tipsy. He's not drunk like I am, but he's tipsy, so he's just letting it loose. He was like, yo, I don't give a fuck, man. I think you're disrespectful for saying that. I think you were disrespectful for dancing with my girl, whatever. By this time, my boy Damien rolls up in the car. He pulls it over. So I was like, yo, man. I was like, fuck you, man. Your girl came to dance with me. I was like, straight up to his face. I was like, your girl came to dance with me. I did not do anything. Now, mind you, this club was our spot. I mean, we used to have a VIP section. We used to drink by the bottles. So we had no issues picking up girls when we went to this club every Friday night. Girls coming up to dance with me, dance with my boy was not an issue. It was a guarantee because people saw us roll into the club. We'd have a section of the dance floor. We knew the DJ because I worked with the DJ. I worked with the guy who ran the IT and the diagnostics in the club. And even the club owner, not the club owner, his second-hand man used to come to the store. We were all cool with each other. We were all very chill people. This was our spot, okay? So, yeah, no, back in those days, forget it. I could tell you more stories, but this will be the last one for tonight. So anyway, the guy goes to swing at me. He cracks me in the face, man. And I'm telling you, my face turned numb. I was like, oh. So I was like, oh, shit. And my friend Elias was about to cut in. And I said, no, man. I'm like, nope, you need to drive. I pushed him back. And I was like, so I was like dizzy for a minute. And he came in with a second one. And this one I was ready for. I kind of sidestepped. And he swung so hard that he kind of spun around. So I grabbed him from the waist. And I German suplexed him on the hood of my boy's car, which got a big-ass dent. But the guy hit the back of his head on the hood of the car, and then he slouched over onto the floor. And then we all got in the car, and we broke the fuck out. I left him there just like that. I didn't give a fuck. I was hungry. I wanted to go eat. We was going to a waffle and chicken spot. Oh, my God, man. Yeah, my boy was like, yo, you fucked up my car. I'm like, no, he fucked up your car, man. I didn't do anything. I was like, oh, man. It basically took it to Hunts Point. We got it hammered out. It was fine. But, yeah, man. Yeah, I suplexed that motherfucker right in the car. And it was hard, man. I went, well, bam! All you heard was everybody in front of the club go, oh! And I looked at him, and once he stopped on the floor, I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm done. I did what I needed to do, and we got in the car, and we broke the fuck out. I never called the girl. I never called her. Oh, man. I guess you could say that's on my Lenny side, which was more out there when I was younger, but now I'm a married man. I'm a humble man, and I have kids, so I'm a little bit more calmer now.